Hi, YouTube. YouTube's with us. I think I got my Rumble friends already from this morning. Yes, I do. Hello, hello. We're ready to go. Isn't that nice? Oh, yeah, I don't need to do it that way. There we go. Cool. All right, let me see what we got going so far today. That'd be my stuff. Okay, that's good. Okay, what do we got going? Oh, yeah, Todd Blanche testifying. Confirmation hearing today, but that was full of good stuff. Only caught the beginning of that. Definitely review some of that for people that missed it. Ooh, interesting. Definitely got to cover that too. Oh, all of the ICE traffic stops that they announced they were stopping temporarily. Yeah, that's over. They're back. That was fast. Honk. Bye-bye. Trump endorses Mike Lindell for governor of Minnesota. No joke.
Not happy. And you know who's running for governor? Mike Lindell. Do we like Mike Lindell?
Oh, yeah, and then we saw this morning too, I think. Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary, confirmed that there is indeed gold at Fort Knox, allegedly. I mean, I guess confirmed for himself. He didn't confirm it for any of us, but I guess it depends on how much you take him at his word. Personally, I believe him. If he says it there, it's there. It's probably pretty safe to say it's there. I am curious how far they went. Like, did they test it? Like, you know, do a little scrapey in the droppies and the test the shit, make sure it's not gold-plated bullshit.
So what
the thought? But I really, like, they're not going to mess around with that. Okay, they're not going to mess around with that.
wasn't exactly an even trade, but for President Trump, it was pretty even.
He usually comes out on top.
Not usually, always.
Always. What are we
Made
looking
some
at
interesting comments about gold standards and silver-backed currency and so on and so forth.
here? These look exquisite.
Yeah, so these are the displays of our currency over the years. Some of it, like we used to have silver certificates. We used to be backed by silver, sometimes gold. And then in the 70s, we just went to what was called fiat currency, where you didn't have to keep gold or silver in the vault. If any of these are still outstanding, though, the silver or gold for them is the at Fort Knox, waiting for them to be claimed if so needed.
Have you visited Fort Knox?
I wonder how many are like actually still out there. Many of the old gold and silver certificates. I mean, there got to be some. Certainly some in museums and whatnot, but
I haven't. People on my staff has. We're going to the treasurer's office. The treasurer has been to Fort Knox, and I am happy to say all gold is present and accounted for. The U.S. has the largest pile of gold in the world, over $1 trillion at current market value.
And we're getting more gold from Venezuela.
over $1 trillion. Daylight savings time maybe on the way out, heading to the Senate. I don't know if they've done anything on that yet, but see, I would expect them to, I imagine.
Decision was made by the secretary along with leadership at ICE. But look, it's not a policy change. It's a temporary pause.
And now it's over. It was It was fast. Okay, now on to the Jack Smith stuff. What is this? I haven't seen this yet. Must have missed it yesterday. Jack Smith's team read messages between Trump officials, dozens of lawmakers of both parties, ran roughshod over the Constitution. What else did he do? And with whom did he do it? We'll find out soon. More than 40 members of Congress had their text messages viewed by Jack Smith's team amid a probe into President Trump. Move that Republicans say ran roughshod over the Constitution. Which Democrats? Cory Booker? Rep. Adam Smith, current ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee. Whoa. That's no joke. Current LA Mayor and former Rep. Karen Bass? Weird. Very weird. And former Rep. Lee Zeldin. No surprise there. Man, interesting. Grassley himself, Susan Collins, Tom Cotton, Steve Scalise, Elise Stefanik also targeted. Asked during a December 2025 congressional deposition whether his team looked at the content of text messages during his probes. Smith answered no. In other words, he lied. It was full of shit. And he knew it. Yet another grotesque example of the Biden admin's weaponization of the Justice Department. Special counsel's office had established a so-called filter team to ensure they weren't accessing privileged documents or violating constitutional rights when viewing messages that had been sought by NARA. Okay. Trump admin personnel include Mark Meadows, Dan Scavino, of course, Ivanka Trump, Stephen Miller, of course, Peter Navarro, current CIA Director John Ratcliffe, oh yeah, current FBI Director Kash Patel, Rudy Giuliani, Kellyanne Conway, and then Vice President Mike Pence. The filter team was supposed to evaluate evidence obtained as part of Project Coconut. Do I look like I fell out of a coconut tree? I must. Which was looking into Trump's efforts to reverse the 2020 election, and Project Cranberry, which concerned Trump's alleged hoarding of national security documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate. Okay. Oh. Records Grassley received show Smith's team discussed directly obtaining 54 Excel files with text messages from White House phones. Oh, he knew damn well what was going on. Not going to be able to plead ignorance on this. All communication to and from the filter team must go through the coordinator. Another DOJ document stated. No materials shall be disclosed to the investigative team without approval of a filter team attorney. However, Assistant Attorney General Patrick Davis told Grassley in an accompanying letter Tuesday that Smith's team bypassed the filter team and directly accessed the text messages. The FBI then identified the people whose phone numbers sent or received the texts. Oh. Wowie, wow, wow, wow. That's just the tip of the iceberg, and I guarantee you that. You ain't seen nothing yet. Newly declassified records reveal Jack Smith's team unlawfully accessed text messages. Okay, yeah, same stuff. Jack Smith controversy just got bigger. Context: previously released Arctic Frost records revealed a subpoena tracker identifying nearly 100 conservative groups, including Turning Point USA. Huh. Oh, what's Axelrod doing here? If Trump really trots out Pulte, Patel, and a crew of political apparatchiks, this is David Axelrod speaking, mind you, posing as intel experts on Thursday night to announce they've uncovered evidence of foul play in 2020, it'll only heighten fears that he'll claim an emergency down the line and claim extraordinary Fed power over elections. Military power, maybe? Even? If so, and there are plenty of other signs of manipulation brewing, that's fucking rich, David. The most important battles of the midterms may be in the courts. How about that? They know what's coming, man. They know. They had their dirty mitts all up in it for years, so of course they know. And they know that he knows. And they know that he's got the proof, too. Oh, here's Eagle Ed. What's up, Ed? Ed says, wait till we get to the bottom of what Jack Smith did in Kosovo. As the head war crimes tribunal prosecutor. Okay, what? Do you think he abused his power to his own advantage? We shall see. Okay, I'm going to have to look into this one. Thank you, Ed.
Did the toll records that you requested from the senators?
It's just him from his testimony. All right, so let's look into Jack Smith in Kosovo. Let's see. Gathering details on Jack Smith's role in Kosovo. Alrighty. Okay, he apparently, from May 2018, when he was appointed and assumed the post in September 2018, until November of 2022, when he stepped down for the U.S. Special Counsel position, he served as Specialist Prosecutor of the Kosovo Specialist Chambers and its Specialist Prosecutor's Office in The Hague, Netherlands. He was reappointed to a second term May of 2022. The fuck? The Kosovo Specialist Chambers is a hybrid court established by Kosovo legislation with strong international involvement and support from the EU and the US to investigate and prosecute serious crimes committed during and after the Kosovo War. Focuses primarily on alleged crimes by members of the KLA against civilians, particularly ethnic Serbs, Roma, and Albanian political opponents or rivals, such as arbitrary detention, torture, murder, and crimes against humanity. We'll come back to that. Oops. Up there. Okay. Well, there's the Trump coin. Nice. Not bad. Joe Biden announces new book. Promise me, America. Come on, man. You know, the thing. Warren Buffett on excluding the Gates Foundation from his annual donations of Berkshire stock. Oh, that falling out with Billy Boy?
Read a
That whole Epstein thing, yeah, that's pretty dirty.
great deal. I read a great deal since January 1st in terms of what happened with Bill and Epstein. And I read his remarks to Congress given under oath, and I read cross-examination. And while it's distasteful, and while he made mistakes, I made mistakes in hiring all kinds of people or choosing friends, and then finding out later that one way or another they weren't what I thought they were. And
Are you suggesting that's what happened here, sir?
and so I found nothing in there that was beyond what
And yet, you still left him out from annual stock donations.
I could see. I could picture myself doing, and you know, he ended it, and
That's not how his wife feels.
that's
Sorry, ex-wife. My bad.
situations where I made mistakes about people, or people felt they made mistakes about me, but they, you know, life goes on, and
Yeah, c'est la vie, right? Someone changes diaper. Okay, Ashley Moody's intro of Todd Blanche.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And my goodness, I expect you'll be getting a lot of questions about how one person may influence every decision you make and unduly influence everything you do. And I hope you say you are absolutely right, and it is that granddaughter sitting right behind you. She is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. He serves and has served as our Acting Attorney General and our Deputy Attorney General. And amongst all of the questioning today, most of which I hope is in good faith, sometimes it gets lost that he is a former prosecutor and dedicated his life to prosecuting for this nation. The greatest testament to his good character and wise judgment is he is now a Floridian and my constituent as the newest senator from the great state of Florida. But he has led a very distinguished career within the realm of the Department of Justice, of which he now seeks to head as the permanent Attorney General. And before I go more into that, I want to thank you, Mr. Blanche, for offering yourself not just first as Deputy Attorney General, but now as Acting Attorney General. Any one of us on either side of the aisle sitting here today knows what it means to serve and what comes with that, and what that takes every day, and certainly what that means for your families that stand beside and behind you and sometimes hold you up throughout the process. We thank you, and we thank your family that is here today. Since President Trump took office and leadership, including you, entered the Department of Justice, as you heard our chairman say, you have worked to achieve the lowest murder rate since 1900. Violent crime arrests are up 184%. Over 2,400 gangs and criminal enterprises have been disrupted and dismantled. 2,900, almost 3,000 child predators and human traffickers have been arrested. That is an increase of 70% since 2024. And when it comes to fighting for a fentanyl-free America, which we both appeared at a summit this week, you and the department are excelling there too. DOJ has made over 6,300 fentanyl arrests, seized more than 5,000 kilograms of fentanyl powder, 55 million fentanyl pills. That is fatal doses enough to kill 428 million people. And just so that everybody understands what that means, that is more than the population of the United States of America. That's just a few top-line numbers on core operations at the heart of DOJ's mission.
Yes.
The DOJ is indeed in the driver's seat of the war on fraud. And I hope members on both sides of the dais will give you time to talk about that today, not only for their consideration of your nomination, but also so the American people can hear about that. I know that you are in for a long process today, so I want to take my remaining time to talk about you, the person, your career, Todd Blanche. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is a patriot who was raised in the Department of Justice. He spent nearly a decade in what is recognized as one of the best prosecuting offices in the country, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, where he prosecuted drug traffickers and violent criminals. In fact, this career dedicated to justice and the rule of law started even before that. He started at the Department of Justice as a paralegal. I love that story, how you started there and you worked your way through the ranks. And it was always about hard work. Throughout time, he didn't just clock in and clock out. He did really good work, such good work that he was noticed routinely and honored for his commitment to excellence. In 2011, while he was at the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, he received the Director's Award for Superior Performance as an Assistant U.S. Attorney in the Criminal Division. In 2013, he received the Federal Drug Agents Foundation's True American Hero Award. He received the New York City Police Department Commendation 3 different years. He received the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration Commendation 2 different years, and a commendation from the FBI 2 separate years. And to round out this collection, he received recognition from the ATF in 3 years. I think this is emblematic of a career that was really spent doing the work of the people and trying to do it well, keeping his head down without seeking recognition, but he couldn't help but get it because of the work and the superior performance that he was doing. And I really think that's an example for anyone watching today, anyone in this audience, any young person at home, any young lawyer. Do good work, put your head down. You are evidence of that. You do good work, you do a job well done, and you get noticed for that, and opportunities will seek you out, commendations will seek you out, more than networking, political connections, anything like that. It is that in which people will seek you out to serve. And it may be just that job well done that got you recognized by the President of the United States and completely changed your life. Some members will try to hold that against you today. They will ignore that long career and every commendation that you received before you ever met or served or acted as an attorney for the president. They'll ignore all those orders and they'll gnash their teeth because they don't like one man. And I believe that misses the mark. It completely ignores the fact that the reason you stepped up to serve is because you love this country. You dedicated your career to the Department of Justice, and in fact, you lived out the motto in Latin. I will not say the Latin because no one will understand that, but I will say the motto of the Department of Justice is who prosecutes on behalf of justice. Not who prosecutes on behalf of a political agenda or to target someone, who prosecutes on behalf of justice. And you stood up and took on that responsibility. And so I hope today's questions will focus on allowing you to explain the legal positions of the department that you've been a part of, or why you've made certain positions in cases or compliance with orders. All things that might go towards how you will perform on behalf of this great nation and the people you serve, how you will excel as an attorney general. But I suspect that nuance and good faith will be the price paid for clips and likes by some members in this room.
Oh, I bet it got bad.
Today is the exception. Nonetheless, I thank you for stepping up to serve, acting as the Attorney General in this time in which we are seeking for your formal nomination. I thank you for being willing to take on not only this nomination process, but the job itself.
Okay. Oh, wow. Day 32 of Mitch McConnell's hospitalization. It's still going.
Desiree Townsend here again outside of George Washington University in Washington, D.C. for the medical mystery that is Mitch McConnell. Today marks day 32 of Senator McConnell's hospitalization for what his office officially described as a fall in mild pneumonia, making his nearly 5-week hospital stay increasingly unusual. So according to a statement issued by his office, McConnell is currently in rehabilitation, likely in the hospital's acute rehabilitation unit, a 16-bed facility on the 4th floor here. According to George Washington University Hospital, it provides 24-hour rehabilitative nursing care for patients who require at least 2 types of therapy following conditions such as a brain injury, multiple trauma, stroke, or neurological disorders. Based on the official description of his condition, a fall with no reported broken bones, fractures, or concussion, followed by mild pneumonia, a hospitalization approaching 5 weeks, along with an extended stay in the acute rehabilitation unit, does not align with his publicly stated current condition. So what is going on here? Perhaps Mitch McConnell does not want to return home to his D.C. home until his wife Elaine Chao finishes installing the new floors, or possibly could it be GW is overbilling Medicare, or maybe, just maybe, someone is actually lying about what happened to Senator McConnell. Again, what is he rehabilitating for? He has had a fall with mild pneumonia. Taking the photo he released at face value, he is already sitting up and ready to roll back into a new seatbelt-equipped Capitol Hill wheelchair. See, here's the problem. A man with mobility problems from polio would want to drive himself around Capitol Hill. For example, my recent interview with Senator Jim Justice, he has mobility issues and he gets around Capitol Hill with a wheelchair that he operates himself.
Oh, yeah,
and he has a blast.
Very friendly to wheelchair.
Doing it. However, a man with mobility issues combined with mental deficits needs to be pushed around Capitol Hill. And based on what I've documented over the past year here, the math is just not mathing on the McConnell medical mystery.
Yep, something's up with it. The whole thing. Whole fucking mess. Pardon me. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. Trump just exposed that Minnesota rigs their election.
Corrupt, and the whole voting system is corrupt in Minnesota. I won Minnesota 3 times, easily. I won almost every county, but they didn't give it to me. It's a corrupt system, very corrupt state. The governor is terrible. The attorney general is terrible. They're all very corrupt people.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Pair of Florida principals arrested just hours apart after police pulled over the same Jeep twice for alleged drunk driving. They're together, hanging out together?
We're both principals.
Claremont police say
We're both principal.
We're both principals.
Claremont police say the woman behind the wheel of this car on July 5th is 41-year-old Jennifer.
Oh God, this is in charge of people's children.
Jimenez, and the woman in the passenger seat.
What the fuck is going on in this country anymore?
Is 45-year-old Christina Alcalde. Officers say both of them had been drinking.
Miss Jennifer, you consumed any alcohol today? Because I can smell it.
Yes, I have.
A little bit.
But Jimenez was the one allegedly driving. So the officer gets her out of the SUV, where Jimenez refused both the field sobriety exercises and the breathalyzer test, and tried to allegedly talk her way out of the trip to jail.
We are both high in the totem pole of, education.
It didn't work. Jimenez was taken to jail, and police made sure her passenger, Alcalde, got a rideshare home. But less than 3 hours later, Claremont police pulled over the exact same SUV and found that passenger now behind the wheel.
No!
Meaning to do anything wrong, I'm way better.
I just talked to you. You were really drunk when I talked to you.
I know.
It's
but
a
I'm
couple
not,
hours later.
I understand. I'm really not. I promise you I'm not.
Lake County Schools tells us neither woman is a district employee. The employment address listed on Alcalde's arrest report matches Pinecrest Lakes Academy.
People are in charge of children. Okay, so what happened in Jack Smith's time in Kosovo? A few notable controversies, procedural issues during Jack Smith's time as specialist prosecutor in the Kosovo Specialist Chambers, mostly centered on the high-profile indictment of then Kosovo President Hashim, whatever the fuck that is, 2020. These have been criticized by some as sketchy or politically motivated, while defenders see them as legitimate prosecutorial decisions under pressure. Why be out there and all this? Then this office issued a press release announcing the indictment of the guy. No idea how to pronounce that. Okay, interesting. So they announced it before the pretrial judge had officially formally confirmed it. This breached the court's statutory rules on confidentiality. Timing caused him to immediately return to Kosovo instead of continuing in the United States. Observers speculated that Smith's team acted quickly because they feared that he had gotten wind of the sealed indictment and might try to avoid arrest. Yeah, I don't know why that. Well, I don't know what happened, but something. Oh. The announcement happened while he was en route to Washington for a meeting hosted by Donald Trump, aimed at advancing Kosovo-Serbia normalization. Trump's special envoy, Rick Grenell, was involved in arranging the talks. The indictment effectively blew up the meeting, of course, as he had to turn back. Critics, especially Trump supporters, viewed the timing as suspiciously convenient or even deliberate interference in U.S. foreign policy. That's kind of exactly what that seemed like. But for what? What was it? What was he or they, whoever was backing him, the people? What were they worried about this guy meeting with Trump for? Trump later publicly accused Smith of targeting Thaki, I don't know, whatever, because he was seen as Trump positive. I don't know, something tells me it was probably more than just that. Interesting that Eagle Ed is honing in on that. There you go. Where'd you go, Ed? Lost it. Oh well. John Cornyn, who holds a pivotal vote on Senate Judiciary, told me he's truly undecided on whether he can vote for Todd Blanche as AG. Oh, what a joke.
Todd Blanche says.
What's your complaint, Cornyn? What's the problem? What's wrong with Mr. Blanche?
Your concerns about the weaponization fund.
Well, basically confirm that it's not dead. It can't be changed without written consent of the parties. According to the settlement agreement, there is no written consent of the parties, and he agreed that it could be enforced as a matter of contract.
Does that concern you?
Yeah, I continue to have some concerns, but I'm not going to make any decisions at this point. I'm going to wait until we actually vote on the confirmation in a week or so.
So you're truly undecided right now?
Yeah.
So I went on to...
Bullshit. He decided. Not going to do it. Come back. Always has been, always will be. Tom Tillis warns Todd Blanche on $1.8 billion fund ahead of hearing. The 1776 fund has to be certainly and completely ended for me to feel comfortable with moving forward. But it...
You've been obviously raising serious concerns about the weaponization fund.
Oh, him too, huh?
And yesterday, a federal judge really rebuked Todd Blanche over his handling of this. How much concern do you have that ahead of his hearing tomorrow?
Yeah, which federal judge would that be again?
Well, I know the referral to the Florida bar, I think, was for the attorney that was handling the case, and I know there's a referral. I haven't seen it yet to New York to say it directly attributed to him. But look, the underlying issue is the 1776 fund needs to go away. That judge's ruling yesterday is another example of it was a bad idea to begin with. I think I referred to it as stupid on stilts. Now it even looks like judges agree with me. We need to
You're stupid on stilts, fucker.
Get it off the books so that you all won't be asking that question, and my colleagues who are up for re-election in November won't be able to have to try and gloss over something that is fundamentally bad policy, unsustainable, and needs to be put back in a bottle.
Could you vote
why? Why is it
against him if he does not handle that question appropriately?
I've said that the 1776 fund has to be certainly and completely ended for me to feel comfortable with moving forward.
And
because
has it been to your satisfaction?
And we got a hearing tomorrow, and we got a markup in 2 weeks. You can do amazing things in 2 weeks, and they need to get her done.
And Senator, just on Senator Graham's, his final hours here, the president has come out and not embraced, at least has not been publicly calling for the passage of the Russia sanctions bill that he had been pushing for. Instead, been pushing for the Save America Act. What do you say to the president who says that that is still the number one priority?
I knew Lindsey Graham very well. This was something he had passion around. The other things he was supporting because others who have suggested it. But if we really want to show Lindsey Graham,
just because he died, we have to pass the shit that he killed for. Like, fuck off.
Some respect and honor that he deserves. This thing that he has addressed some of the concerns of the administration that I now hear the administration's behind, the Russia sanctions bill is the bill that would be something that I believe that Lindsey would like to have his legacy.
What about the Save America Act? The president says is the number one priority.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder which one is more important.
Well, that's the president's number one priority.
It's not mine.
Not mine. Number one priority, it's not mine.
Dude, he's such. Okay, Blanche cooking Senator Welch. Oh, good.
Do you support Mr. Cattell,
Mr. Cattell, Mr. Patek, Mr.
Patel's efforts to subpoena and get reporters under the grill to disclose who their confidential sources are?
The Department of Justice requires that I authorize it, which I did. And those reporters, we're not targeting reporters. They're material witnesses, just like a reporter would be a material witness to a car crash. Yeah, they are witnesses. And so,
and the question you want to ask them is who were their sources?
No.
That goes to the heart of the First Amendment.
What?
No, the question we want to ask them is who provided them with classified national security information, which everybody in this body should want to protect. I would hope.
But
do you support Mr. Cattell,
Mr. Pash Cattell?
So why did you fire her?
For a number of reasons. For one,
you were there 2 days
on firing Liz Oyer.
Yes, for a number of reasons. It had nothing to do with Mel Gibson. The decisions that she had made as pardon attorney in the weeks and months leading up to the end of President Biden's term were completely inconsistent with President Trump's authority, including recommending commuting every single individual on death row, which even President Biden didn't do.
Right. I'll let the Americans be the jury of whether that sounds right.
Sounds about right to me.
But 2 days after you were there. So why did?
Yeah, like what about it isn't right? Like what?
Did you fire?
You want to expand on that, sir?
For a number of reasons. For one,
you didn't.
Well, now we get the big one.
Accuse yourself from that matter.
All right, bring it on, Adam.
You didn't recuse yourself from that matter. You were willing.
There's no reason to. From the Proud Boys matter?
Yes.
I mean,
why would he do that?
There are rules that say when I have to be recused, and that's not one of them.
And there are rules, and when you're told to recuse,
and which rule is it precisely, Mr. Schiff, that says Todd Blanche must recuse from Proud Boy cases?
Yourself from investigations that you handle for the president, you're supposed to recuse yourself.
No, what
so
I
you have also said. You've also refused to release Volume 2 of the Special Counsel's report. That was an investigation into the Mar-a-Lago documents case. How is that not an abundant conflict of interest? Refusing to release to the public an investigative report of an investigation into your client.
I am not a judge, a federal judge.
No. The department's position.
Yeah, fuck off.
Under you, Mr. Blanche, the department's position under you, Mr. Blanche, was do not release the report.
So that position,
because
if you went into court asking them to release it, it would be released by now. So how is that not a patent conflict of interest?
What you're saying happens to not be true. I did not do that. What you're talking about happened before I became the Deputy Attorney
support the
General.
release of Volume 2?
No, I don't.
Fuck up and let him talk.
But I'm recused and had nothing to do with that case. Like, you can't accuse me of violating my ethical rules and then lie about what I did.
Oh, yeah. That's where you're wrong, Mr. Blanche. Yeah, yes, he can, and yes, he will.
So,
fucking piece of garbage. Human fucking garbage. JD Vance, I guess, went on with Rogan? What?
Federal thing. So
interesting.
We're right now trying to pass the Save America Act. One of its main provisions is a requirement that you do voter ID. And we actually have, I think, a majority of the Senate that would support it. But this is just weird Senate procedural bullshit. There is a subsegment of people who want voter ID but won't blow up the filibuster in order to achieve it. And so they're so married to these old world Senate procedures that they're going to make it impossible for us to pass Save America. Now, we are, for what it's worth, trying to fix that and trying to address these like weird procedural archaic things. It's insane, though. Like, if you ever, okay, I'm sure you hear people talk about the filibuster all the time.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole. Here's what the filibuster is. It is a pure Senate rule. It is a creation of the Senate procedures, which basically says that anything that has to do with the budget is a 50-vote threshold. And everything else, non-budgetary, is a 60-vote threshold. Now, as you can imagine, there's some gray area on things that maybe count as budget issues and should be 50, or are not budget issues and count at 60. So what we have tried to persuade the Senate to do is to treat the voter ID as something that can fall within the 50-vote threshold. And there is no law, there's no provision in the Constitution. It is legitimately that there are senators who are so attached to the idea that budget is 50, non-budget is 60, that they're quite literally willing to prevent voter ID in America.
God.
Are attacking me viciously for quite literally trying to accomplish the negotiation objective that the president set for the country. So
what is their position? Like, are they attacking you? How?
They don't have one.
Oh, it's social media posts. It's they're leaking to reporters. They're attacking me obsessively, saying that we should not be negotiating with Iran. We should just keep the military campaign going indefinitely. And that is their explicit position. And coming after me, saying that, people have come after me and say that I'm influenced by Qatar, that I'm influenced by foreign governments, that, I take my marching orders from Tucker Carlson. And there's just so much bullshit out there.
Tucker Carlson.
When what I'm actually trying to do
fucking ridiculous
is accomplish what the President of the United States told me to accomplish, which is a settlement of this that accomplishes our objectives. Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. We have the free flow of oil and gas. And like, I should be clear, I don't actually mind. I don't mind that let's say certain elements of the Israeli government want to criticize the deal or have disagreements about the deal. I don't even mind an effort to try to influence, foreign governments try to influence the United States all the time. Israel does it, other countries do it. It's just sort of the nature of the beast. What bothers me is actually when Americans meaning American leadership, allows that influence to affect their judgment.
Yeah. And boy, does it. Okay. Boy, I want to see the rest of that one. Senators Rick Scott and Mike Lee demanding GOP leadership call off August recess until the SAVE Act is built into law. It works 7 days a week. That's rich. These people? Kidding, right?
From the grid, and now you have these.
Trump demands Kathy Hochul immediately rescind her one-year ban on new AI data centers. I didn't know she'd done that. Ew.
Very rich companies headed by lots of geniuses building electric plants. Because of that, we are leading China by a lot in the AI race. Now, it's mostly the two of us. Other nations are in it, but mostly. And whoever wins the AI race, and we're going to win it. I mean, if we're smart, we're going to win it. If we're not smart,
it's winner take all, dude. I don't know what people don't understand about this at this point, but like, snap the fuck out of it.
We're not, but we're leading by a lot. We talked about that last night. President Xi was very surprised at how well we've done with AI, because they thought, you know, when it started, they took this gigantic lead. And we now have we are substantially ahead of them in AI.
But do you think there'll be some buy-in, set up guardrails or something?
I think there could be. We talked about it from the grid. And now you have these very rich companies headed by lots of geniuses building electric plants. Because of that, we are leading China by a lot in the AI race. Now, it's mostly the two of us.
Good to hear him talking about that. Immigrant semi-truck driver sentenced to 4 years in prison after deadly crash. Is that it? Is that all Mr. Singh got?
In California last year that killed 3 people and left several others hurt has been sentenced to more than 4 years in jail.
That's it.
The illegal immigrant was driving a semi-truck that plowed into slow-moving traffic on the highway, leading to an 8-car pileup. He has pleaded guilty to 3 felony counts of vehicular manslaughter with gross negligence.
You can say that again.
Today, the crash in California last year that killed 3 people and left several others hurt has been sentenced to more than 4.
Fucking disgusting. Should have been 10 times that. Hegseth announces all U.S. military service members age 30 and older will be screened for testosterone levels every year to make sure warfighters are in the best shape. Well, what are you going to do if they're low? I mean, are you going to give them a little boosty poo or? Yes, interesting. Wow, that's honestly the right move. It's what they should be doing. If treatment is recommended, it's entirely your choice to receive testosterone replacement therapy. Absolutely.
And to meet that commitment today, I'm authorizing a new screening program for testosterone deficiency for our service members, ensuring you have the right testosterone levels to operate at your absolute best. Because it's well-established science that as we age, testosterone levels
drops, and boosting it back up will, well, you'll be feeling 10 years younger real quick.
Often naturally.
And performing 10 plus years younger real quick.
Drop. Under the supervision of our world-class medical professionals. Warfighters.
There are very little actual, like, downsides to it other than temporary fertility loss and, you know, some other manageable things, especially under, you know, serious medical supervision, which I guarantee you they're obviously going to do. This is like 110% the right move. I honestly kind of shocks me that they didn't do this years ago.
30 and older are going to be tested annually as part of their periodic health assessment. It's a health assessment that happens every year. We're just adding this test. Those under 30 can voluntarily choose to get the test as well. If treatment is recommended, it's entirely your choice to receive testosterone replacement therapy. This initiative, it's not about artificial enhancement. It's about restoring and optimizing your natural capabilities, protecting your longevity, and ensuring you have the biological foundation required to sustain the fight.
Yep.
We owe our warriors the absolute best medical care in the world, and this program delivers on that obligation. Taking care of your long-term health means ensuring you remain strong, resilient, and capable, not just for your next deployment, but for the rest of your life, so you can thrive long after you take off the uniform. As we know, the modern battlefield is brutal and unrelenting. It requires and demands maximum psychological and mental readiness. And by addressing these health markers early, we're keeping you on the leading edge of lethality and giving you the same...
Not just physical performance either, like, it affects mental performance, everything. You will, like... I've heard story after story from countless guys, you know, like 50, even in their 40s. It's like a wonder drug. I mean, again, obviously there are downsides, but more or less manageable.
Same level of support that you give this nation, the absolute.
I'm really kind of curious to see how much research and development they put into this. Could get kind of interesting.
Best. Godspeed, keep going, and God bless. And to me,
yeah, I don't know what the deal with it is. Ban Shadow says, I swear it's only PSP that freezes on me on Rumble. Popping a tons of channels is the only one that freezes. I don't know what the heck does it only happen when I'm on, guys? Or is it like during any show? That might maybe help me to pinpoint it a little further, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense because it apparently doesn't happen on, like, it doesn't happen on X. It doesn't happen on Vaughn, just Rumble. They're all served from the same place. They all come from Restream. They should behave the same way. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Wish I could figure it out. Montana Cindy says all good for me. All good. At least for some people it's okay. All right, 77-year-old woman now speaking out after the state of Florida sent her a randomized license plate that happened to read "squeeze ass."
I don't think a woman that lives in a senior community that's going to be 77 years old.
That's messed up.
Next month will be driving around with what this plate has to say. I don't
squeeze ass.
Think.
I mean, unless you're into that, you know.
None of this was fake.
Could be a gift, depending on how you look at it. Widow Corey Comparatori says she has reason to believe that the assassination attempt in Butler, which took the life of her husband, was an inside job. Ooh.
I'm tired of hearing that. None of this was fake. I'm tired of hearing that. It was not fake that day. President Trump got shot.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he got killed. And I don't want anybody to forget that. And I was looking right in his eyes when it happened. So I don't want people to forget that. And that we struggle every day. Still. Because we don't have answers.
Looking back on that day in Butler, what do you think the Secret Service got most wrong?
Everything. They didn't pick up the radios. They had no communication. They had no communication with the outside. None.
I read in that report that there were 102 calls, radio transmissions that were missed.
Yep.
It says, instead, we found that Secret Service received only 5 phone calls and 3 text messages about crooks.
Who was in charge of that shit? Who was in charge of setting up the radios for the day?
So they're
handing them out.
Admitting they got 5 calls and texts and they didn't do anything. But what's your reaction?
My reaction is why?
Somebody set them shits to the wrong fucking channel. Someone did it.
Why? Why wouldn't you have reacted from one? I mean, if they would have held him back off that stage and not let him go, I wouldn't be sitting here with you today.
Crooks himself remains shrouded in mystery. Authorities still haven't publicly identified a motive for his attempted assassination of President Trump.
You've expressed belief that the gunman, Thomas Crooks, didn't act alone.
I don't believe there was another shooter there, but I believe that he was
He was being coached. He was being run by someone.
working with somebody.
Yep.
I believe it was an inside job inside the government somewhere.
And this was political?
Oh, yeah.
Political.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
Have you seen evidence to that?
Oh, I've been told things, but I've had something that happened with me that just afterwards, and you're starting to put the pieces together, it just made total sense.
I would love, well, can you expand on that, please?
What will help give you closure?
No! Let's get more!
When the people who put this all together that day are caught and it comes out.
So if you had a message for President Trump, what would it be?
Just to don't forget us and remember what we went through that day. You know, we're still here and we need answers.
Helen Comparator says it was a year before the Secret Service actually reached out to her. The questions that she did ask, she says they didn't answer them fully, and she's now pleading, reaching out to President Trump, hoping that he will intervene, apply pressure, so she can get answers as to what happened here and why.
Wow. Army Dillon has just moved to purge 1 million dirty voter names off of California's voter rolls. 1 million? Woo! That's quite a few.
And integrity. Can you give us sort of a sneak peek about what to expect and tell the
Well,
audience
I'd rather
in
save it. It will concern that subject, and we'll have a couple of other things to
Why
say
should people
also.
watch them?
But I'd rather save it, but it's really big news. It's really, really big news. And our country has to shape up. But that's what we're going to be talking about Thursday is it doesn't get bigger, because without free and fair elections, you don't have a country. We'll be discussing other things too, but it's going to be a very big announcement. Yeah?
Machines.
Can't wait. It's going to be fun. Senate is holding an anti-taxpayer fraud meeting right now with Nick Shirley and James O'Keefe.
About
that's right. Yeah.
Right now, for one, you've got some testimony from the person I kind of call as a
shut up and let's hear it.
Fraud-busting hero. Nick Shirley is there, and you've got political activist James O'Keefe there, and a lot of Republicans in the room. And I think we off to the right.
Are you just gonna
American people
blab the entire? We don't get to hear it. We just have to listen to you talk.
With fraud, dear.
Here we go.
Of tax dollars being defrauded, wasted, and abused.
That young man and his camera responsible for what we are seeing all across the
why do you do this to me?
country. And I'm talking about the war on fraud, which is moving.
Jeez, man. Fox News.
Moving to Capitol Hill, social media influencer and journalist Nick Shirley testified at a Senate hearing on the issue this morning. And you may remember Shirley helping to expose a handful of fraudulent operations, including the Somali daycare scandal in Minnesota. Well, today's hearing comes after the Trump administration yesterday announced a major milestone in its trade fraud crackdown.
In less than 1 year since its...
Okay, we saw that. Go back to... I want to hear Mr. Shirley, dang it.
All right, welcome back.
Let's find it.
He is an independent journalist known for his on-the-ground investigations, which he publishes on his social media pages and the Anti-Fraud Club website. Mr. Shirley.
My name is Nick Shirley. I'm a 100% independent journalist who seeks each day to serve we the people of the United States.
What's his website look like now? Let's see. He got a website, right? Anti-Fraud Club, is that it? It's got to be it. Yeah, is this it? Golly, they could have been so much more. Oh my gosh. Well, something, but okay. Sorry for the interruption. Let's go back.
With the mission to show the world.
I was like expecting to be able to like search for fraud in my area and stuff like that. Like, that's a missed opportunity.
The reality of things as they really are. America was built and created by strong men and women who loved America and never would have thought to rob, steal, or cheat from its very own citizens. Unfortunately today, America's good faith has been abused by others, often foreigners who seek to harm, rob, and cheat America. Through my efforts, I've exposed billions of dollars of fraud and helped save America hundreds of billions for years.
Oh, look at that. The House has passed the National Security Bill with the SAVE Act language included, yet again over to the Senate. Have fun with that. We'll see where that goes.
To come. When we talk about fraud, we are talking about money that is being stolen from hardworking, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. This issue has nothing to do with political parties. No dollar says Republican or Democrat on it. When a fraudster commits fraud, he or she steals from all of us. Last December, I published a 43-minute-long video exposing widespread fraud in Minnesota. That video became one of the most viewed videos in internet history and gained over 4 billion views in just 7 days across all forms of media. The fraud was so obvious that the fraudsters weren't even trying to hide it. The infamous Quality Learning Center was born, and that video has become one of the most consequential videos in American history by the amount of legislation it has created. Since posting it, over 30 bills have been created and introduced in Congress regarding fraud. A new fraud task force has been created, and the Treasury is working on new systems to stop fraud at unprecedented levels. I helped ignite a war on fraud across the country. People often wonder how come this fraud became so big and how come it became so rampant, and the reason is because no one actually ever really looked into it. When Elon Musk offered to help by creating Doge, people burned his factories, bombed his cars, and politicians even celebrated his company's stock going down. Elon was right when he said the fraudsters complained the loudest. By exposing the fraud, I actually also exposed the politicians and media who worked for years to cover it up. Governor Tim Walz labeled my work as white supremacy and called me a far-right delusional conspiracy theorist. Meanwhile, he dropped out of re-election, and he even said he has ended his political career. Now, the highest government-funded daycare in Minnesota has pleaded guilty to daycare fraud, and the largest autism bust in American history has been exposed. Where is Tim Walz in the media now? It just so happens that over 80% of the fraud committed in Minnesota is by the Somali population. After Minnesota, I exposed widespread fraud in California within the daycare and hospice community, where an impossible 1/3 of Americans on hospice care were set to die in Los Angeles. The next day, the governor, Gavin Newsom, posted an AI-generated image of myself trying to mock and discredit my work. Only days later, he and his attorney general both tried to take credit for exposing the fraud. Now the Attorney General's wife has created a bill that would make it criminal to expose fraud. The Stop Nick Shirley Act, also known as AB 2624, will help fraudsters cover up their crimes and prevent themselves from being exposed, specifically in immigrant communities. Politicians often use immigrant communities to commit fraud. Why would they allow this to happen? In California, Medi-Cal, their Medicaid program, has now more than doubled from $108 billion in 2022 to a proposed $222 billion, while enrollment has only rose by less than 1%. The system is filled with bad actors and fraudsters. In New York City, government-funded adult daycares pay for elderly Koreans and Chinese to play ping pong and do Tai Chi at the taxpayer's expense. An impossible number of patients are registered, and those patients receive kickbacks for attending and signing up their friends. Over $2 billion has gone to these fraudsters at the taxpayer's expense. And I'm just one person doing the work of many people. If the government and media is not going to do their job to help America, it's the responsibility of strong men and women, however old they may be, to do it. I am doing it. Despite the threats and burdens that come, it must be done. I'm doing it with the help of everyday Americans that government-paid officials are supposed to do. And the media teams across the country have millions of dollars to do this, yet they don't look into this fraud. They've actually quite literally failed us. If we as Americans do not stand up to protect our country, we will lose our country. Fraud is so rampant in the United States, I could go to all 50 states and uncover millions of dollars of tax dollars being defrauded, wasted, and abused. It is my wish while sitting in front of you guys today that you take action and help Americans by cracking down on all of the fraud, and to simply put Americans first. Thank you.
Boy, I want to see how nasty they got with him. Definitely want to see how he handled it.
You mentioned the Stop Nick Shirley.
About it right now. For one,
There's a tax.
My goodness.
But Shirley, how are you identifying initially what you're actually finding? Like, what's the tip that you're saying, I think there may be fraud there? How are you identifying that?
Yeah, a lot of it's I go through these databases and look for the largest amount of funding, and then also looking for the anomalies that come. For instance, in New York City, at these adult daycares, there were 7,899 patients enrolled into an adult daycare, and they received $12.9 million. And I go to that daycare, it's there's only one floor, and it'd be, quite frankly, impossible to enroll that many patients into that daycare.
Yeah. So it's just going through the available public data on it.
Yes, and then also relying upon Americans. For instance, I learned about the Minnesota fraud from Minnesotans. I went there and they told me, hey, finally, you're here to make a video on the fraud. I said, well, what are you talking about? And they said, well, this fraud's happening, this fraud's happening. And so then after that, for 6 months, I looked for that information about the fraud.
That's great. All right, that's very helpful. But Shirley, how are you identifying initially
By exposing the fraud, I actually also exposed the politicians and media who worked for years to cover it up. Governor Tim Walz labeled my work as white supremacy and called me a far-right delusional conspiracy theorist. Meanwhile, he dropped out of re-election, and he even said he has ended his political career. Now, the highest government-funded daycare in Minnesota has pleaded guilty to daycare fraud, and the largest autism bust in America history has been exposed. Where is Tim Walz in the media now? It just so happens that over 80% of the fraud committed in Minnesota is by the Somali population. By exposing
pretty good. Attaboy. Well, that's about all that's turning up for now, but good for him. Good. All right. Let me get back file here. That's all right. Yep. DSA has rolled out a new platform for sweeping changes, including defunding the Department of War, reparations, wealth taxes, expanding the House of Representatives, and packing the Supreme Court.
All right, welcome back. The Democratic
They're just going for all of it.
Socialists just unveiled a sweeping new policy agenda. It calls for a dramatic overhaul of all three branches of the government. They say, on the plus side, you probably never have to pay a bill again. Take a listen.
You're able to take a day off and not have to worry, and you don't have to have a job just to pay the bills because you don't have a lot of bills, right? Bills are no longer a thing because there's not for-profit businesses that are constantly trying to exploit you and trying to, put you into debt.
We wanted to lift up that demand very clearly and to state, abolish ICE, end ICE detention, end deportations, and punish the brutality of these federal agents.
Correspondent Madeline Rivera has all the details for us here in the D.C. newsroom. Hey, Maddie.
Good afternoon, Jillian. Besides those things, the DSA also calls for
very fucking stupid
funding the Department of War, reparations, and wealth tax.
How many of them there are?
Taxes. They argue capitalism hinders freedom and that our current political system is not true democracy.
Why do we have a Senate? Like a lot of people are going to see that and they'll be like, wait a second, why do I have a Senate? Like, what's so great about the Senate? I mean, I'm not sure about this, but I'm pretty sure the only popular senator is Bernie Sanders, and it's because he ran for
That's how fucking fried these people are. What the fuck?
President as a Democratic
How does something like that tumble out of your mouth?
Socialist.
The DSA is pushing for an expansion of the House, which they argue is a more accurate representation of the population. And they want the Supreme Court to be
that was just astonishing.
Replaced by a judiciary chosen by and subordinate to Congress. The new platform comes as the DSA hits 120,000 members, which they say is now the largest socialist organization in the country. The agenda will essentially serve as a rallying call as they try to build on the wins of left-wing candidates in recent primaries. Democrats are torn about how to tackle the rise of socialism within their party, but Senator Bernie Sanders says it's been a long time coming.
We are seeing a real movement of the American people who increasingly understand that we are living in a moment where never in our history have so few people, multi-billionaires, had so much economic and political power. And all across this country, we're seeing a profound disgust. People are standing up and saying that establishment politics and establishment policies are not working. We need change.
House Speaker Mike Johnson and other Republicans are sounding the alarm, framing communism as a real threat ahead of the midterms.
Good golly. What kind of... I mean, I know most of us live in bubbles of varying degrees of thickness these days, but good God. How do you get into a bubble that impenetrable?
You're going to see that and then be like, wait a second, why do I have a like, what's so great about the Senate? I mean, I'm not sure about this, but I'm pretty sure the only popular senator is Bernie Sanders, and it's because
how the fuck does someone go through life thinking that?
He ran for president as a Democrat.
Like, it just blows my mind. How small is your social circle? Let alone your, like, the circle of, like, information that you consume? Like, what the fuck? Blows my mind. All right. Well, now we get Chuck.
The majority leader has said that the NDAA is not about Iran. In the past
That's about the NDAA.
consecutive times on bipartisan votes that says voting against it, you're voting against the troops, and you're voting against national security.
No, the real danger to national security is this war that's out of control. It's this war that has alienated our allies. It's this war that has totally diminished American power and ability to defend ourselves in the world.
The majority leader has.
Oh. U.S. military just unleashed Hellfire missiles on a tanker trying to violate the strait. Oh. Oh, I don't know if that's the actual video or... Oh, it went kaboom. Whoa. A portable charger exploded after being left inside a hot car in New Jersey. Don't do that. Don't be f***ing it. You can't do...
A portable charger blew up in my car.
What, like a... You mean like a battery?
A portable charger blew up in my car.
Or just a charger? I'm gonna go ahead and assume he means like a portable battery, like for charging your phone with a little, you know, little battery things.
I just cleaned it out the best way I could.
Don't fucking leave that shit. Why would you leave any electronic device with a lithium battery or anything like that in a freaking oven of a vehicle on a hot day? Like, what? Do you just want your devices to die, let alone explode? White House officials asked to turn over their phones in an investigation into Air Force One security leak. Who do this? Officials in the Trump White House asked to turn over their phones, investigating into a leak about Air Force One security while the president was traveling in the Middle East last week. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, dang. Remember, he made an interesting little comment. Yeah, here, I think this is it.
It's a long walk to you.
Mr. President.
You need to have some kind of knowledge that something happened.
Times the walk we used to take, right? I hope you like it. So we had a very good day, very good 2 days, and a lot of things were determined. And what was really determined is the country's doing very well. We made a lot of good trade deals with Turkey, and they've been a very good partner. He's been great, by the way. President Erdogan's been great, and I hope you had a good time. Any questions?
Mr. President, what was the security concern that caused us to change planes? What was the security concern that caused us to change planes?
We sent this one in so that the Air Force Base here was in the same exact line. So you saw, did you see the picture?
We did.
Hundreds of pictures, hundreds of people. Let me see that. Oh, yeah. You can't see it too well, but there are
Sounds like someone tipped someone off about which plane he was on.
hundreds of people out there. So they wanted to see, so they came a little bit early and we switched planes.
So you're saying there wasn't a security concern?
No. Why would
there any other issue? No issue?
No, except we sent it a little early. Same line, going back.
Sounds like there was a security concern.
We sent it a little bit early so that we could let them see it. The base, the whole base came out and saw the plane, and then we landed.
Do you know why they had us close our window blinds? That was unusual.
Well, yeah, because you're, probably on a dangerous flight because of the sleaze bags that we have to deal with.
So you think that Iran was possibly thinking of trying?
Well, I mean, if they asked you to close your windows, probably they feel that way. They didn't ask me to close mine, but if they did, I would have done it. These are sick people, so I could see something like that. I didn't know they did that, but I could see something like that.
Very weird.
Are you aware of any credible threat by Iran against Air Force One?
I have a threat all the time. I'm number one on their list. Before you...
Something happened, man. Interesting. Someone's gonna be in some deep shit. Okay, come on. John Thune on the SAVE Act.
Thune, Senators Mike Lee and Rick Scott are both calling on the Senate to stay in session and bypass any recesses or weekends to get the Save America Act across the finish line. Is that something that you're open to and would support?
Well, if I thought there was a path to getting a positive result or a positive outcome, I'd do well to do just about anything, because I think we are all here in favor of the Save America Act. The folks that have consistently block voted against it are all the Democrats in the United States Senate. And I think that's unlikely to change. And it's also very unlikely that the Senate Republicans are going to vote to get rid of the legislative filibuster. So we had 5 votes on it. We have voted on the entire Save America Act. We have voted on photo ID as a separate issue. We have voted on photo ID and registration, or citizenship to register. Had that amendment. You've had a vote on boys competing for sports. We've had 5 now votes on the Save America Act or individual components of it, none of which got a single Democrat. To me, the issue here is the Democrats, and we ought to be going after them for opposing something that's popular across this country, not just with Republicans, but with Democrats as well.
A 36-year-old man in Colorado suing the hospital he was born at for switching him with another child at birth.
I know I definitely wouldn't be here in Colorado today if I would have went home with the right parents. I'd be working the farm with my older brother that I never knew I had.
When you feel like you don't fit in, being switched at birth is probably not your first thought.
I never would have guessed.
But Jeremy Morrison
How
said,
do you ever even find out about that?
as he has always felt different from his family.
I didn't have anyone that looked like me in my family. I was that blonde-haired kid that stood out in a family full of brown-haired people.
And 2 years ago, at 36 years old, he finally found out why he felt that way when
We got the DNA test back.
Morrison says
Oh my gosh.
that test showed his parents were not actually his parents.
I know I definitely wouldn't be here in Colorado today if I would have went home with the right parents. I'd be working the farm with my older brother that I never knew I had.
Morrison
It's insane.
says the man he was switched at birth with, Kyle Boleyn, was born just hours apart from him on January 26, 1988, at the same hospital in Grafton, North Dakota.
I believe we were the only babies born that day.
Morrison and Boleyn, along with their parents, are suing Unity Medical Center, saying the hospital switched the two men as babies. Records show the hospital denies the allegation, and the establishment tells me
I wonder how common that is, like, actually.
these births happened decades ago, and none of the same
Or
people
was, anyway.
work there anymore, adding, quote,
While we deeply sympathize with the men and their families, we have found no evidence to support claims that Unity Medical Center or its staff
Well, how else do you propose that it happens?
were responsible for what occurred.
Me and Kyle
Like, what?
grow up in the same areas. Like, we couldn't have gotten.
It's insane, dude. Wow. Mark Wayne Mullen went around President Trump's back to suspend ICE traffic stops, infuriating the president. Ooh. Interesting.
Who can I call? Who can I call for you?
At least that's the talk. I don't know, you know, who knows how much truth there is to this, but if that is true, heck.
And we're also keeping a close eye on what's happening
Oh, it was Susan Collins told him to do it, and he just did it?
in Biddeford, Maine. There are growing protests in the street after the second deadly shooting by ICE in a week. Now, a change from the top, ICE pausing most traffic stops as a method of apprehension for now, until agents get increased training on these kinds of stops. According to sources, we're going to dig into exactly what's going on around that today. Homeland Security saying that the officer who opened fire in Maine yesterday was, this is a quote from them, fearing for public safety. We know that there are investigations that are underway right now into exactly what happened. Now, DHS says that last week's deadly shooting in Texas was self-defense after a driver rammed an ICE vehicle with his van. The three passengers say that the officer was not in front of the van. So there is a lot of camera. And we're also keeping a close eye on what's happening in Biddeford, Maine. There are growing protests in the street after the second deadly shooting by ICE in a week.
J.D. Vance said Wednesday the voter reform bill known as the SAVE Act is not mainly about the 2026 elections, but rather about, well, yeah, all of them well into the future.
You mentioned that the administration's top priority right now is passing the Save America Act. Even if it were passed tomorrow, there's not enough time for it to be implemented before voting starts for the November midterm elections. That being said, will the administration support the results of the midterm elections come November, regardless of what they look like?
Well, look, of course, we're going to support the results of the midterm elections. We think we're going to win, but ultimately that's up to the American people. But we also think we have to do everything that we can to discourage cheating. Because you will hear Democrats sometimes say, and I love this line, I can't help but laugh at it, cheating isn't that frequent in American elections. Any frequency at all is a problem. A single ballot cast illegally in an American election is, in fact, the theft of the ballot from another American citizen, from an American citizen who deserves to be able to vote. So you're right. You know, the elections, in some ways, the process is already getting started for 2026. But you don't pass a piece of legislation because you think you're going to immediately benefit from it. You pass a piece of legislation because you think the American people are going to benefit from it over the long haul. We have to do it. Save America is not mainly about 2026, to your question. It's actually about saving America's elections well into the future.
Okay. Whoa, smoke from Canadian wildfires.
Good morning, Robin. So those
Oh man, I saw some crazy shit out of that. I got to see if I can find the clip I saw.
Wildfires are actually burning in northern Minnesota right through Ontario, and the dense smoke from there is already traveling to the south and east. Toronto, for example, has the third worst air quality of populated cities around the world this morning, and that air will be coming here as those wildfires rage.
This morning, wildfires triggering thousands of evacuations in northern Minnesota. And out west, hot and dry conditions are supercharging flames in Napa County. Firefighters bulldozing fire lines to keep the combustion contained. Back in Minnesota, the U.S. Forest Service shutting down access to the million-acre Boundary Waters canoe area. This is one of more than a dozen fires in Superior National Forest. But north into Ontario and throughout Canada, there are more than 800 wildfires burning.
Because we're experiencing heat waves, there is increased fire activity.
All that smoke provoking air quality alerts from the Great Lakes to New York and New England. In Manchester, New Hampshire, a thick, haunting haze turning skies an eerie shade of orange.
Damn. That is a heck of a shot. Jeez. Alright, let me see if I can find the clip I saw.
This could potentially overtake us here. This is getting a little scary.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They're on a train. They're the conductors of a choo-choo. Stuck in the middle of the fire.
Okay. Yeah, this is...
Okay, y'all need to hurry up here.
Good God.
Seriously, we're encased in flames now.
You guys gotta go backwards. Go.
Hello, Jody, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you there. I'm telling them you were notching up.
Yeah, this has got to move fucking quick here.
I think they're like they had to, like they gotta wait for another train or something. Crazy. You'll see the other one come the other direction. Look at that, like.
Holy crap. Oh, that's alright. This kind of burnt off, so we'll be okay now.
Thank God.
Yeah, it went across. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, look over there.
We are
you guys got a light now or what? Did you guys get that light?
There it is. Look at that.
Oh yeah, they're clipping. Whew! That's a meat and a half, eh?
Hey. Crazy, right? Okay. Oh, look at that. Mitch McConnell's wife, Coco Chow, been leaving the hospital while wearing a mask. Clearly something going on with Mitch. Oh, boo. Or Toronto. Ugh. Yeah. That's the midday sun.
Well, you can definitely.
What are you doing out running in that? Are you a psychopath?
Smell it. Absolutely. As soon as I woke up in the morning, I went outside on my terrace, and you could definitely smell the smoke in the air, and it's very hazy out. So absolutely, it's noticeable. I think you have to be silly if you're not going to be concerned about climate change. It's definitely here. It's definitely happening.
Here we freaking go.
And it's happening globally. So yes, there's a concern, but at the end of the day, the option is either to stay inside your house and not enjoy the Canadian summer, or
look at these fucking people. You absolute psychopaths.
Or get out there and embrace
There's
it.
something deeply wrong with you.
As best you can. So that's what I'm choosing.
Oh, cool. We got some Trump here. I missed this one. Pennsylvania.
Since I took office, defense investments in Pennsylvania are up by nearly 25% compared to crooked Joe Biden. And today we're adding $10 billion, and I think the number is going to end up being about $19 or $20 billion. And we'll be building 2 massive national security multi-mission vessels at the beautiful and historic Philadelphia shipyard.
Nice.
I met all the guys doing this, worth up to $1.5 billion, and it's a purchase of lots of vessels. We're going to have a lot of vessels being made there. We're also thinking about doing some purchases outside of companies that come here and build, have to reteach us. You know, we used to make a ship a day, and now we're a laggard in that department. We do lots
Laggards
of great things, but
we're laggards.
We're a laggard there. But since I took
Trump's word of the day. I love it.
This massive new investment by General Dynamics is going to create right here 1,500 new jobs. The munitions firm Day & Zimmerman in Philadelphia will provide $2.3 billion worth of operations, maintenance, and support to the Hawthorne Army Depot. And EOS in Pittsburgh have just agreed to a multi-million-dollar partnership with the Department of War to build, we love that name better. We won World War I. We won World War II. Then we decided to go politically correct. Let's go with defense. No, it's war. And I said to Pete, Pete, don't you like that better? He said, it used to be Department of War. And then we got politically correct. And we go in, knock out the Middle East and go home. Everybody said, why did we do that? What did we get? But we did. We had greatness, and that's what we have again. Now we have greatness again. As an example, Venezuela. Where'd you have it? When was the last time you heard that you had a war and you paid for it 50 times over? We have wars and we lose money. We have wars, we blow up something and we leave, and everybody said, what was the purpose of that? Nobody can answer the question. We don't do that anymore. But EOS in Pittsburgh just agreed to a multi-million-dollar partnership with the Department of War to build energy storage technology in support of our Golden Dome missile defense shield. We're building the Golden Dome over our country, and it's going to be a very effective one. We had 111 missiles shot a few weeks ago by our lovely friends from Iran. They were aimed at the Abraham Lincoln, which is a beautiful aircraft carrier, by the way. The SS Abraham Lincoln, 111 in a short period of time. Out of the 111 missiles shot, 111 missiles were knocked into the sea easily. Think of that.
Any American veteran who has driven a heavy truck for the military will soon be eligible for a CDL. That's cool. Kind of shocked that's not already the case.
Thank you, sir. We are so honored to have you here. I know you've got a special love for Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania has a special love for you. And this is all about your vision of peace through strength. And what's happening here at this summit is really all the people we need in the room, the prime contractors, the energy leaders, the emergent technologies, the leaders in labor, the leaders in finance, all the team that needs to be in place to implement your vision. So if it's all right with you, what I'd like to do is turn to the Secretary of War, let him make some remarks, and then draw in some of the business leaders we have here. And I'll say the one little story is when I was on the campaign trail with the president, one time I walked off the stage and he said, you know what I like about you? He said, you don't talk too much. He said, you don't go on and on. There was somebody else there, I won't say who it was, he was going on and on. He goes, keep it short. And so we'll all keep it short. Thank you, Mr. President.
Nice. Jonathan Gray, President and CEO of Blackstone, announces a massive investment in Pennsylvania. Oh, whoa. $40 billion in 5 years? Dang.
President Trump,
that's wild.
I want to start by thanking you for the deep commitment to supporting investment in American innovation in infrastructure, AI, and defense. Senator McCormick, I want to commend you once again and Dina for hosting a summit here in Pennsylvania focused on the vital national imperatives. We were together a year ago in Pittsburgh. We announced that $25 billion in digital and energy infrastructure. We said we'd do it over a decade. Since then, we've acquired multiple data center sites. We've made enormous progress in our joint venture with local utility PPL, and we're proud to report that we're on track to invest over $40 billion and do it in 5 years.
Wow. That is nuts.
50% higher, 50% less time, not bad. These investments will create nearly 20,000 good-paying construction and permanent jobs, deliver meaningful benefits to communities, and help ensure that America stays at the forefront of the AI race. This would not have happened without the conference that you and the President hosted last year. We also got tremendous support from the governor in terms of infrastructure development. Everybody loves to complain that things are not working in the United States. Well, in Pennsylvania, they're working the way the founders intended 250 years ago. So congratulations to all of you. I would also just say last year, we talked about building critical infrastructure to power the innovation economy. Today, we're talking about applying that innovation to our most important priority, protecting our national security. At Blackstone, we're incredibly proud to be all in on both of these objectives. Technology is, as the Secretary noted, fundamentally reshaping the national defense. It's going to require enormous amounts of private capital, not only to invest in the new innovation, but also to scale up production in a capacity-constrained world. And Blackstone is ready to help in a very big way. We've already invested $20 billion in defense and aerospace in the last 5 years. We expect the scale and pace of that investment to increase meaningfully from here. We see national security as a compelling place to deploy capital on behalf of our investors that also supports a core American interest.
Yay. Oh, Lockheed Martin, Chairman, President, and CEO James Eichlet? No idea. Announces his company is going to double the size of their Archibald, Pennsylvania plants, adding another 700 jobs.
President Trump, I want to start by saying
Michael Coulter of Hanwha Defense. Oh, yeah, they're going to be building in the shipyard. They're a Korean company, I guess. I was wondering what the Hanwha was about. Sounded Korean. But I know what I'm having for dinner tonight. I got some Korean pork I gotta toss on the grill. Oh my god. I'm freaking starving. American Soldier, you have God. Oh my gosh.
Yo, that's crazy. It looks like a person.
I'm just waiting for it to fuck up. Punching someone. Sadly, it's not one of those videos, I guess. Oh well. Chuck Schumer appears to let out a loud fart on the Senate floor.
Now on Iran and the NDAA. The American people need to know, of course, how and why this chaos is spreading through the streets, and we need a complete investigation that's independent. Now on Iran and the NDAA. When all the Trump administration can say about his disastrous war with Iran, now on Iran and the NDAA. The American people.
100%. Oh, he let one rip, man. Ballroom construction. Ooh. Dang, man. You can see it goes down into the depths. Okay. Interesting. DSA is not simply a group of democratic socialists, operates as an umbrella for electoral socialists, eco-socialists, Marxists, Marxist-Leninists, Trotskyists, anarchists, abolitionists, revolutionary anti-imperialists, whatever the heck all that is. Oh yeah. The different caucuses inside DSA. And how they differ. They're all gay. I know that much. Oh wow. Bread and Roses, Marxist Unity Group, Springs of Revolution, the Libertarian Socialist Caucus, how cute. Red Star, Marxist-Leninist tendencies. Gross. Okay. Tell Codex to open Microsoft Paint and try to draw you. I'm totally going to do this later. I don't think we've reached AGI yet. Nope. Not quite there. Yeah. It was a valiant effort. Good try, ChatGPT.
Hey, Bear.
Bear.
Hey, Bear. Hey, Bear, he's ripping my God damn it. Oh, my God. Bear, get off my golf clubs, please. Please. Oh, he's ripping my bag. Bear.
Little stinker.
Bear. Hey, Bear. Hey, no. No, stop. Oh, my God, he's gonna. Oh, God. Oh,
Bear.
Bear, come on. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Oh,
excuse
no.
me.
Oh, no. Get back. Bear, get back here. Hey, Bear. Those are my clubs, man. Give me my clubs back, Bear.
What?
Oh, you're just thinking goddamn man.
That's so great.
Oh, come on. Oh. There.
I love bears. Bears are the best. I gotta send that to Radix. How do I send that? All right. Let me see what else we can find. We got 15 minutes in there. We'll come back here. Senator Kennedy on Mr. Blanche.
I think Mr. Blanche is a good lawyer. I like his demeanor. I think he's honest. I think he's frank. He gives the president his frank advice. I don't think the president necessarily always takes it, but I think he looks the president in the eye and tells him what he thinks. And I don't see any reason not to confirm Mr. Blanche. I doubt he'll get many Democratic votes on the committee. I don't think my Democratic friends on the committee dislike Mr. Blanche. I think they dislike the president, and this is their way of getting at the president by going through his proposed term.
Yep. Ooh, more with Trump here. I haven't seen these. Let's check that out.
There have been threats on your life from Iran. This is the first appearance outside the White House since the NATO summit. Do you feel safe making appearances like this?
I don't even think about it, because if I do, I wouldn't be very effective. So I don't even think about it. Certainly other people do, and I think they're doing a good job doing that, but I don't even think about it, Ed.
There have been threats on your life from Iran. This is the first appearance outside the White House since the NATO summit. Do you feel safe making appearances like this?
I don't even think about it, because if I do...
1 second. Okay. Other way. Yeah.
Well, so much was given away by the Biden administration. They were given away just willy-nilly to Ukraine and anybody else that asked for it. And when I came in, I saw this. I said, there's going to be a problem. We better do something about it. And as you know, I stopped, and now they pay to NATO. We sell to the European Union. We sell to we get a lot of money. And it's not even the money. We have to watch ourselves. You know, it's called America First, and we're building up our reserves very rapidly. And as you probably also know, the great companies that we have are now building plants all over, not just taking one plant that they've used for a long time and doing overtime. We have 4, 5, 6 plants by each of the major companies being built, brand new plants in different areas to make, as an example, you could say the Patriot, which is so heavily sought, or the Tomahawk missile. So we want to have it not where you have to wait a year to get something, or a year and a half or 2 years. We want to have it where you wait a week or maybe less, and we're going to have that very soon.
You're going to nudge the CEOs?
Well, they've been nudged, they've been nudged. And, you know, one thing, speaking of your show, and your show is great, by the way, and you are, and so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of these companies are spending tens of billions of dollars on stock buybacks. They're not allowed to do that anymore. Now they have to build plants, so they're building plants all over the country.
Hey.
You came to the conclusion that you couldn't negotiate with the IRGC. Does that mean that you might wipe them out like you did ISIS?
Yeah, it does. We will see what's happening. We received a call just as I was coming here. They want to meet. They always want to meet. But, you know, this should have been done by other presidents for many years, for 47 years, but really a lot longer than that, and it wasn't. And I never understood why, but now I do. Because if you're not going to do it the way I'm doing it, you're never going to make a deal with them. They were very difficult. They're good negotiators. They were tapping everybody along for 47 years. Then Obama came in and he just offered them, you know, a fortune of money. He paid them off. $1.7 billion in green cash and hundreds of billions of dollars. And that really set everyone else back, because they started wanting to make nuclear weapons. And then we hit them a year ago, just about a year ago, with the B-2 bombers, and that ended that. So we got a little bit lucky. Our timing was a little bit lucky.
Yeah, so Mr. President, Dan Kane, Raising Kane, is your chief of staff.
Right.
He was the one, or Joint's chief of staff, he was the one who wiped out ISIS.
That's right.
Could he be tasked then now to wipe out the IRGC if you can't negotiate with them?
Well, we're going to be in good shape. I mean, they are really, they've been depleted. Their weapons are down 91%. The drone capacity is way down. They still have, but not a lot. Their manufacturing capacity is down. Their rocket launchers and their missile launchers are way down. Their missiles are way down. You know, down. They're probably depleted by 88, close to 90%. Now, that doesn't mean there's still not danger, and there is. They're nasty people, but they want to make a deal. I can tell you they want to make a deal, and you don't have to be a genius to realize when you see what's happening to them every night. And now today we gave them a little daytime shot too. So this should have been done not by me. This should have been done a long time ago, long before me.
Indeed. You see inflation at the end of the year less than it is now.
Do you see inflation at the end of the year less than it is now?
Well, I think so. I think what's happening is oil's going to be a little bit of a yo-yo for a while. It goes up a little bit, goes down a little bit, and when this is over, oil is going to drop like a rock. So the answer would be yes.
Do you see inflation at the end of the year?
Oh, I can't wait for that. Isn't that going to be nice?
Your face is now going to be on a coin, it looks like, from the Treasury Department?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, I was very honored. It's cute. Not a bad picture, but it's very cute. They gave me a coin. That's very unusual from what I understand.
A gold coin.
A gold coin and a silver coin.
It's very cute.
It was very unusual, but I was honored by it.
Your face is now going to be on a coin, it looks like, from the Treasury Department?
Yeah, that's cute. It's cute.
Would you be okay if the Federal Reserve paused rates for the rest of the year?
Well, it's better than raising them. Okay, I mean, I'd like to see them go down. I'd like to see our country have the lowest rate anywhere in the world. You know, you have other countries that are only there because of us, that are only successful. You know, they're called blue chips. I don't have to mention them. You sort of know who I'm talking about. They're like blue chips, but they have massive purchases from us, and we have deficits with them. And, you know, the tariffs that brought that back a long way. Our trade deficit is down 68% in 1 year. Think of that. If you're a president and you got it down 1%, you're a genius. We have it down 68%. That's because of the use of tariffs. And I wish I could use them faster. The Supreme Court said you can't use them as fast as I was using them, but I can use them actually more effectively by the method we're doing, because there are various methods of doing it.
So you're giving Kevin Warsh some runway then to lower rates?
I do. I have a lot of respect for him. He's going to do. Don't forget, he has a board. Maybe it's hostile. You know, it could be hostile. And maybe it's people that don't want to do what's, you know, the right thing. Look, we create such wealth for the world, and we want to create it for ourselves and also help them. But you have countries that are paying 1%, 1.5%, and we're paying 3 and 4%, and they're only paying because of us. If we wiped out that deficit, if we wanted to wipe out the deficits just through the use of tariffs and wanted to do it in one fell swoop, we'd be the biggest money machine in history, and they'd all not make money. But in the meantime, they are considered elite countries because we allow them to make too much money. Now, I've taken a lot of that away from them. They're still doing very well. But we should have the lowest interest rate anywhere in the world by far, like we used to have many years ago.
Yep. But it used to be. Oh, the official course for the Grand Prix. Okay. Heck yes. Awesome. This is gonna be so cool, dude. God, I hope they do this more. Bring F1 here, please. Neato. Yeah, that's gonna be freaking neat. It's gonna be cool. 190 miles an hour on Penn Ave. Yes, please.
We've gotten some key economic readings here in the last couple of days. They've been promising. NFIB, small business optimism, has ticked back up. We've seen that simultaneously as we've seen CPI and now this morning PPI inflation readings. Deflationary month over month. A lot of this is tied to what we've seen with energy prices. So what does that look like? What does that mean moving forward for that small business ecosystem here in the U.S., especially as we do see energy prices start to creep higher again?
Yeah, Morgan, you're exactly right. Main Street is thriving because optimism is back in this country. If you look at where we came from, think about 4 years ago. Last July 2022, inflation was 9.1%. The average gas price in America, with no conflicts going on, was $5.01. So Main Street has come a long way. That's why we have all-time record business formation happening in this country right now. About 513,000 entities being formed each month on average. Couple that with, the leading indicators like the ISM PMI, which for 5 or 6 months in a row has been in expansion territory. That means our manufacturers are hiring, they're buying inventory, they're producing, they're getting orders. This is incredibly powerful. And then you look at the export data, also all-time records. This is the Trump economy, and it's just 1.5 years in. So it tells, I think, all of us that there's a lot more to come, and we're just really getting started.
All right. Anything else? Him touching down in Pennsylvania.
During the Biden administration.
With the Homeland Security Task Force regime that we've set up in every single state and every single district in this country is designed to do
more advanced. Well, let's hear about the. Maybe we did that one.
You asked me what happened to Todd Blanche.
One more with Schiff being an asshole. Okay.
I am still here. I am the same exact person I was when I was a federal prosecutor in the SDNY, which is do the right thing and do everything you can to keep communities safe. So when I was a line prosecutor, when I was a supervisor, when I was the head of a division, my motivation and my goal was the same thing with the people who worked with me and worked for me, which is do the right thing, enforce the laws, and put bad guys in jail. And so you spend time talking about, I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. A little courtesy would be appropriate. So when you ask me what has changed, okay, and you talk about a single document that I signed, okay, and somebody had to sign that document when the president sued, okay, so I tried to do the right thing. What I do every single day, and what the prosecutors in this country do every single day, and the nearly 100,000 indictments and informations that have been filed since January 20th, is exactly what everybody in this building should want the Department of Justice to do, which is to make our communities safer, enforce the laws, both civilly and criminally, and always do the right thing with integrity, which is exactly what I'm doing. So I am the same Todd Blanche I was when I was a federal prosecutor in the SDNY.
Yeah, I like Todd. All right. Let me pop my share off. Okay. Yeah, what's up?
Not much. What's up with you?
Nothing much. My stop share. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, I'm always like look at the bottom of your screen. I don't know where yours is though, but I tell people all the time. They're like that. My stepbrother texted me today and was like, "Hey, can you send me a message in our group chat? I can't find it because he was trying to update on my dad because he's the one that took him to the doctor today." And I was like, "I got you." So I just went to text Jimbo, and it would pop to the top. It was just funny.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Well, I'll let you get going. I'm gonna go get some dinner. I'm so freaking hungry. I'm starving. I'm throwing some meat on the grill. So.
Are you grilling?
Yep, I'm grilling.
What's your favorite thing to grill?
Well, tonight is Korean spicy pork, like pork belly. With like a spicy nice. Korean marinade on it. It's incredible. Oh, it's so good.
Have you ever made beer canned chicken?
Oh, heck yeah.
Beer butt chicken.
All the time.
You just open the beer. Yeah.
Bring that thing up the chicken's butt and yeah.
Do you like cabbage?
Yeah. I like cabbage.
Okay. I'll tell you my favorite thing on the grill. Take a whole head of cabbage. Okay. Core it out. Take a knife and take the core out. Just, cut down into the cabbage and pop out the core as much as you can. Take your favorite seasoning. Like I like, there's There's this one kind of like McCormick's. It's like just kind of a chicken season, but whatever. Use whatever seasoning you like. Okay, like Mrs. Dad or whatever. Make sure it's got really good spice in it. Dump more than you think you need down in the center of it. Take an entire stick of butter. I'm from the South. Don't judge.
Ooh.
Take an entire, jam it down into that hole, and it'll make a front little cap to the top of it. Sprinkle a little bit more of that seasoning right on top of that butter. Then take aluminum foil and wrap the whole cabbage head up aluminum foil.
Ooh.
And have that be the first thing you sit on the grill and the last thing you take off. My favorite part are the outer leaves that get charred. That's my
The
favorite.
crunch.
But
Interesting. Yum. That sounds
it's
good.
so good. I love it, but I love cabbage. It's so good.
Does this have a name?
I make it. I don't know. No. I don't know. Butter cork cabbage. I don't know.
Huh. I've never heard of such a thing. Sounds really
cabbage. Good. Yeah, I love cabbage. So my friend taught me how to make this cabbage like soup using like kielbasa sausage, cabbage, potatoes, like heavy cream. And it's really, really good. And so I make that sometimes, but I'm alone, so I don't make big messes of anything anymore. And this
It's
is
hard
a
to grill
cabbage
when
I
you're
used to make
alone.
when I was married.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is something I made when I was married. I was like, I love cabbage so much. We would grill, and I was like, well, I think boiled cabbage, when I was growing up, that's what my mother would make. I thought you grill anything long enough, it gets soft. I mean, we've grilled a whole hog before. But so I just shoved it down in there and put it on, and I love them. I love it. It's so good. I'm telling you, the best part's the outside. The best part's the part that looks like you would not want to eat, but it is the best.
Oh yeah, all that black deliciousness and oh yeah, it's the best.
You should try it sometime.
I
Let me know what you
might give that a
think.
go. I got to see if I can convince everyone else to do cabbage.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
But the nice part about it is just something you set on the grill literally and forget about. You like set it off to the back or something, the first thing you put on, and then when you took everything off, you've done your burgers or your steak or whatever else, you go grab that cabbage and stick it, pull it off. So good, dude. So good.
Hey, put butter
I do
on
the same thing
anything,
with my
it's going to be
corn.
damn good. So
I'll tell you my secret for my corn too.
Oh.
Freeze your corn. When you do whole ears of corn, make sure you have them in the freezer. I just pull mine directly out from the ones that my dad grew that would be in there for months. Okay, take the frozen corn out of the freezer, and then I just set the bag off to the side. I dig up my whole thing of butter, and I would dip my hand down in it. Clean hands. It's my family, doesn't matter. And I just slather the butter all over the top of the frozen corn, wrap it up. And the frozen crystals, it's like steams the corn.
Oh.
And so it's like really good. And
Interesting.
Like, it's good. Yeah. So if you want it frozen, most people are like, what?
I'm going
like,
to try
I'm
that
telling
one.
you.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because as it melts, as the water melts from the frozen crystals, it stays inside the aluminum foil and it steams the corn.
Yum.
And it makes it just like you boiled it. It's so good.
Nice.
You can tell I've cooked a lot in my life. Like we grilled a lot. We would always throw like the football parties and all that stuff. So yeah, I would prep the grill and he would cook the grill, and we were fine doing that. I'd do all the prep work. He'd do all the actual grilling. Yeah. And I will never not make chicken that's not marinated like the Greeks, like marinated in yogurt. That has to be Okono's, like vanilla yogurt, and then with all the seasonings, turmeric, all that stuff. And then you set your chicken in a bag, put that yogurt mister over it, let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. It is the best. And then you pull it out, you shake in the bag the yogurt off if you want to or whatever, and then you put that on your grill, and you will think your chicken is raw. It's so moist. That's the only bad thing about it is like if you're not used to cooking with yogurt on your chicken, you'll swear it's so kind of like moist and pliable. You'll think your chicken's raw. It's not. It's just that moist. That yogurt really does something. It's kind of like marinating your turkey or your chicken in buttermilk in the South down here. We do that a lot. So that yogurt, the same kind of, if you keep your mind in that same frame, it does something that keeps it. I don't know. But I always use yogurt now. Something I learned. There you hey, cooking lessons with Laura before you leave.
There you go. Cool. Well, we have a good show.
Hey, enjoy your grilling.
I surely will. You know it.
All right. Thank you.
You guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Yep, that's my grilling. What else do I do?
All right. Well, that's it for me, YouTube. I'm out. Yeah, I'm starving. I'm gonna go eat. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.